Greetings, everybody. Welcome to another Vinyl Finds of all kinds. These are videos where I show records that I've gotten in recent weeks, months, years maybe, that I haven't shown yet. And these are records by artists that are anybody but the Beatles. No Beatles in these batches, okay? To start with, let's go back to the oldies. And we're going to have a really nice conditioned album here, presenting Dion and the Belmonts. Like I say, really great shape. Terrific to have this. There's the back cover on Laurie Records. And the record is in fine shape. I'll show you the label. And it's got a couple of the big hits from Dion here. I Wonder Why and A Teenager in Love. I love that label. I love any of these old records. You know, even if those old records are not in sensational shape, they still sound good, because they were made quality back then, quality records. Okay, let's go to the 1980s for a moment here with an album that I really was happy to get in nice shape in the shrink. It's the group called Scandal from the 80s, and this is The Warrior, follow-up to some of the earlier stuff that they had. Now, of course, I like the fact that this album actually touts Patty Smyth, featuring Patty Smyth. A couple of good songs on here that I remember. The Warrior, of course, I love that title song, and Beat of a Heart. I remember I had this album back in the 80s when it first came out. I always feel like I discovered Patty Smyth in a way, because what happened was the song Goodbye to You was on MTV. Nobody I knew had heard of Patty Smyth. I ran out and bought the 45 instantaneously. I liked it so much. And I don't know whatever happened to her. I really think that she was such a good singer and such a good rock vocalist. I really think that she should have had a lot more albums and better hits. It's too bad that she didn't have much of a recording career. All right, next up, this is something I just took a gamble on because it was pretty cheap. It's in nice shape. It's in the shrink wrap, and I love that sticker. TV special, $1.57. I mean, it didn't cost me $1.57. It was a little bit more, but very little bit more. So it was worth trying out. Now, as far as Spanky and Our Gang, and this is the greatest hits. You know, I only know a couple of their songs, and I'm not really that wild about them, actually, the songs. Sunday Will Never Be the Same. It's okay. I don't love it. It's okay. And a song, Lazy Day, which I'm not really big on. But, hey, you know, I'm going to give it a shot. Let's hear what it sounds like in its entirety. Maybe there's some other tracks. All right. From 1981, we have Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. I'm trying to fill in my Tom Petty collection with nice quality vinyl. This one, Hard Promises, it's called. And some good tracks on here. The Waiting, A Woman in Love. You know, speaking of A Woman in Love, I didn't know this until fairly recently. You know, when John Lennon was murdered in 1980, Tom Petty was recording the song A Woman in Love. I believe that was the one. And yeah, he was so emotional over John's passing that in the dead wax, if you look at the original copies of the dead wax, scratched into there is, I think it says, "We love you, JL," or words to that effect on here. Tribute to John Lennon in the dead wax. All right, next I'm going to show a couple of albums by Tom Jones. Believe it or not, I've really been getting into Tom Jones. I mean, I like Tom Jones' popular hits, Delilah, What's New, Pussycat, She's a Lady. However, I listened to a couple of tracks, sticker here, off this album here called Funny, Familiar, Forgotten Feelings. And I really love the guy's voice. He had such an emotional voice, such a strong voice. And he still does. He still sings really good and packs a wallop from when I've heard him. I'm going to try to get into some Tom Jones records and see how I like them, going beyond just the popular songs that we know. This album, I took a complete chance on it for $2. This is one called What a Night, and this is a later album of Tom Jones. I don't know what to expect on this at all. I mean, I just got it because it was $2. We'll see how it goes. And this one is for promotion only. All right. Got that gold stamper on it. Okay, let's go and rock it up with some classic rock. here by Led Zeppelin. I filling in some holes with my Led Zeppelin vinyl collection. Okay, we got Zeppelin 3 here, which this one here I've never really heard, believe it or not. I'm sure I know tracks off it, but this one I don't know in its entirety. I mean, I'm a big fan of Zeppelin 2 and Zeppelin 4, and I also love In Through the Outdoor that I always mention. A lot of people don't like that. They feel they kind of sold out with that album or something. I was in high school, folks, when In Through the Outdoor was out. I mean, I love that album. I love a lot of tracks off that album. And here's one that's interesting, and I think some people will be surprised that I got this, actually. It's Physical Graffiti. It is in the shrink. It is with the original sticker with the song on it. And there's another interesting sales sticker. Yeah, this has everything intact, nice shape, and I'm very happy to have it. I love, love, love the song Kashmir. I love that. And Houses of the Holy also. But the reason I say some people may be surprised I got this is I did a video years ago now where I heard this once in the record store. I thought it was overrated only because it's such a large album in terms of the quantity of songs. And I didn't love as many as I thought I should, but I'm willing to give it another shot. All right, next up, Fleetwood Mac. Now, I love Fleetwood Mac when Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks joined, but I have heard some earlier stuff, believe it or not, that I was interested in. Like with Peter Green, like even the song, like the Albatross song, which I found out after hearing it was an inspiration for John Lennon writing the Sun King medley song for the Abbey Road album. Anyway, it's this one here, Fleetwood Mac, and the album is called Future Games. All right, and now let me tell you why I picked this up. Christine McVie. I love Christine McVie. People know that about me. I think her voice is phenomenal. It's gorgeous, sweet, gorgeous. I love her voice. And, I'm going to buy almost anything right now, the mood I'm in, that has Christine McVie as a vocalist. So I'm happy to have that. And will I buy the Chicken Shack albums? I don't know. Chicken Shack. Maybe. Last but by no means least for sure, we have Wilson Pickett, the best of Wilson Pickett here. And when I think of Wilson Pickett, you know how I first heard of him? When I was just a little boy, my mother had a 45 RPM collection of records that she'd bought. And she had the 45 single to the song 6345789, long before Tommy Two-Tone. Okay, and I really loved that song as a boy, and there's great stuff here, Mustang Sally, In the Midnight Hour, and so on. Glad to have Mr. Wilson Pickett. Well, that kicks it in the head for this video. However, I want to tell you that I will be showing other vinyl finds of all kinds, because I really do have a ton of them that I have yet to show. So there are more coming, but also I got a lot of new Beatles finds that I have to show that I haven't given to you yet in my video channel. And sorry, I got a dry throat here and got to clear it. Also coming up soon, more record store videos shot in the record store. I have footage from way in the past still that I haven't used. There's a lot of stuff I can use there. And also the flea market. People who like the thrifting and going to the flea market and browsing around for little items and nuggets. Well, it's going to be reopening the flea market soon, so those will be back too. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Have a great day.